Okay, so we're going to work in the key of G, and we're going to look at some chord inversions, but we're going to try to make it a little interesting by playing the 1 chord and the 4 chord. So we're going to start in the key of G, and here's our key for G, you know that. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to start on G, and not too heavy on the bass, so just lightly on the bass. So what we'll do is, first of all, let's review the chord inversions in G. Root position. I'm using my fingers 1, 2, and 3, and then first inversion. That's root position. Here's first inversion. All right, fingers 1, 2, and 5. Okay, second inversion, up. I'm using fingers 1, 3, and 5, and then back to root. Fingers 1, 3, 5, and then down. Pause the video, make sure you got that, right? G, root position, first inversion, second inversion, root. And back down. Okay, pause the video, just get that down real quick. Okay, now let's move on. So what we're going to do is a little chord pattern, all right? So we'll just hang with our left hand here on the G, maybe with the one finger, 1, or the second finger, and we're going to play a full G chord like this, like arpeggiate the chord, like break it up like this. And then we're going to move to the C chord. So this is 1, and we're going to move to the 4, the C, right? What we're going to do is, we're not going to just go to root position. We're going to stay here, and we're going to move the B and the D up. So it looks like this. So look, the G stays the same. The G stays in the same position, right? So you have G and a C and an E and a G again on top. And then back to the G. I'm just arpeggiating the chord, right? And the left hand comes on the bass and to the C. And you can break up the notes, right? And just get that feeling going. 1 chord, 4 chord. You can play the whole thing. And the whole thing here. Now we're going to switch to the first inversion of that G chord, and the thumb is going to come down on the B. And to the C. So now the C is going to be in root position, right? So the G is now in first inversion. We have a B, a D, a G, and a B again on the top. So we're doubling the B. So I got my fingers 1, 2, 3, and the pinky, the top, all the way up here. And switch to the C. You see, that's C, E, G, and C again on the top. Fingers 1, 2, 3, and 5. Let's go back to root position, G. 1 chord to the 4 chord. And I'm going to put my thumb on the B now to move up. Now we're going to move up to the second inversion of the G. So my fingers on the E right there, and now the thumb is going to come on the D. On the D to make the second inversion of that G. But now I'm going to double the D on top. And then we're going to go to the C chord second inversion. It's an E, a G, a C, and an E again on top. stretch those fingers out there. The 1, 1, 2, 3 here, and then the pinky on top. Sometimes I add the 2 in there, right? So again, the form is like this. You start on the G, full G chord right here at the bottom. Full G. And then the C. Let's see a second inversion, right? And then you hit the C, and you come to the first inversion of the G to the C in root position. Okay, that's the second pattern. And then the third pattern is starting on the D. That's our second inversion in G. And this is our C, first inversion. And then root. So a little idea here just to kind of, you can go here with the left and you can hit the 1 and the 5 in the left hand, just to kind of, see? So left hand is the G and the D, the 1 and 5 of G and D, and then you keep the G and then you move the thumb up to the E. So it's really a C chord there, right? If that were the C bass, if that were your C bass, you'd have the G and an E on top. But we're kind of we're pedaling the G. Pedaling meaning we're like vamping on that G, that low G. And then you change to the C. You see that sound? So together, you have the right hand like this. G to a C. G to a C. So you can add the 2 in there. First inversion. Right, a little fancy there. Now go up to the second version. And then root again. And it's a cool ending, a nice little churchy ending. Sorry. Left hand is just a G on the bottom, F sharp on the top. The thumb comes down to the E. And then to the D, right? So that's the left hand. So it's like a major 7th interval. And then here, the top is here. The G octave, the D in the middle, and then C, and then G. So it's like the top notes come down. 5, 4, 3. So together it sounds like this. Keep that G on the top. It has a very cool sound. You can even hammer off the C. It's an A on the top to give it a jazzy feel for the ending. And then G bass, A major on the top. It's called the sharp 11 chord. Sharp 11. All right. There you go. That's almost 10 minutes. Have fun. And God bless.